Hi everybody, it's Diana with Stamping with Di. Welcome to my YouTube channel and this week's Mimeograph Monday with a Twist. And I'm going to use the new Service Essentials bundle for today's cards. And this is a real fun bundle. I think everybody needs this in their stamping stash. So if you are new to my channel, welcome. If you've been here before, welcome back. My name is Diana and I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator and I'm in Santan Valley, Arizona. So that's what I'm going to do today. So if you are new to my channel, I'm in the chat room during the video premiere. So head over there. I'll be there with my friends. If you're watching the replay and if you have a question or a comment, leave it below. Then YouTube will let me know and I can reach out to you. So Mimeograph Monday with a Twist, basically I'm going to do a card that Stampin' Up did, or sometimes I might not have the exact same maybe cardstock or whatever, but I'll do as close as I can, and then I do a twist on it. So I will be doing two projects. So if you are somewhere that your time changed, I will be on at a different time for you, even though it's still 3 o'clock Arizona time here. My accountant was here this morning, so I'm running a little bit late. So I'm going to stop blabbing so I can get to these cards. So close your eyes for a second while I get my camera adjusted. All right, so here is the stamp set. Because look at all these really neat images. I mean, it's great for the military. I mean, I see like nurses and doctors and police, you name it. So it's a really great one. And then here are the dies that go with it. So you've got your dog tags and you've got your chain, but it's got some really cool pieces there. And then this is the card that I'm going to do. So the first card I did, now like I said, I did a lot of this stuff ahead of time only because we had company and time got away from us because we were visiting and doing tax stuff. So I did some of this stuff ahead of time just so my video, getting my video taped and uploaded won't take as long, hopefully. All right, so I'm using Misty Moonlight, and we have this beautiful star, and I'm just going to do Misty Moonlight on Misty Moonlight. So we're basically kind of making our own patterned cardstock, basically. But I love this big star. So I did my heat embossing ahead of time, again, just to save a little time. Putting these stars around. And this set too, like when I was playing with it, I'm like, this would be a great one if you if you know somebody that likes Marvel. I know my husband could watch the Marvel movies over and over and over. In fact, he does. So this would be cute for that. All right, so then they use the two-tone Misty Moonlight, but I'm just using Azure, and I already did my heat embossing. So I heat embossed with gold. So I used the Versamark, and I stamped, you know, this image. There's like one each direction, and so I stamped that on my Misty Moonlight, and then I embossed it with the gold embossing powder. And like I said, I did that already. And then I die cut it out because there's a die that gives you that shape. They also use the foil paper, and I don't have any of the gold foil. I thought I did, but I didn't. So what I did was I just used my Versamark, and then I sprinkled the gold embossing powder on it, heated up, and then I kind of made my own gold foil look. And that's how I got these stars. And there should be 5 little baby stars, but for the life of me, I cannot find the 5th one. So I will be short a star. All right, I have this shape here, and I'm just going to lay this star down just so that I kind of have an idea where to stamp my greeting. And then the greeting is going to be, thank you for your service. Let's see if I can bring this a little closer to me so I can see. I need to take this off the white so I can see it better. Now I'm going to lose all my stars. All right. Because now I can see the shape of my white, except when I had it on the white paper, it was kind of hard to see. All right, so I'm going to put my star there. And then my thank you for your service. So now I can see better. Okay. And I think that's all I wanted to do that. Okay. So I'm going to glue this star on there, and I'm just going to use some green tip glue. Okay. And then I want these stripes to go up underneath there. So I'm just going to put a little green tip on here. And then I'm simply going to lay that there and hope that's fairly straight. And then I'll do the same thing with the other one. I almost was like, I'm not going to do a video. I was stressing out. I'm like, oh. I'll do the same thing. I'll lay that, and then I'll just try to make it be even. You know, straight across. And that looks pretty good to me. Let that glue set up a tad. All right, so while that's gluing, let me put this on the card. And I'm just going to use, let me flip it over. I've got some black dimensionals. So we have black and white dimensionals. Did you know that? The black ones come with the babies and the mama in the same package. So that is the difference between the two. All right, so I just want to put this in the center. Hopefully that looks pretty close to the center. All right. And then I'm going to put this on there. Oh my gosh, I have glue all over my fingers. All right. Now for the white card, I'm going to use white dimensionals. And I just have some that I'm trying to use up. Okay, and that will go on here. And then I already stamped with cherry cobbler these little lines, and I hope I didn't stamp my greeting. I should have put these little lines on the card as well. So fingers crossed that I didn't mess this up. And with these, I'm not sure what rank these are. All right, so they will go right there. So they go right up there like that. Okay, and then remember I said I couldn't find all my stars. So they're probably on my desk somewhere. So instead of using 5, I'm just going to use 3. So I'm just flipping them over. So again, these are just little ones that I made with that embossing. And there's a little die that makes all these cute little stars. So I just die cut them out. And I think they work perfect. I need to clean them up a little bit. My glue's coming out just a tad. So you just take your pick tool and just clean that glue up. There. So there's the first one. Thank you for your service. Love it. All right, and now for the twist. I wanted to do like an army. So this to me was not army. This might have been the Navy, and then do not yell at me if I am wrong. But the blue I know is not army. And I wanted to do an army one because Jeff was in the army. So I changed it a little bit. I did not change it tons. But we're using garden green and old olive. All right, so let me clean my star. Okay. And then this time I used basic beige instead of white for that shape. And then I embossed the stripes with gold. And then I'm just going to trim those out. Now you probably could even just stamp them on here instead of it being a separate piece because they do fit in there. But I wanted to pop them up. And then Jeff liked these down on the bottom because I was like, okay, this is going to be your card. How do you want it? Because he was like, you know, he didn't want them here. So we're going to put them elsewhere. All right. Now I am going to stamp the star in green this time. So it's just going to be garden green on garden green. And I'm going to ink that pad up, so I'll probably have green ink all over my hands. All right. But I'm going to do the same thing. But what I did was I cut this piece a little smaller so we have another layer of cardstock on this card. But I'm basically doing the same kind of thing. Just making our background. But aren't these stars so cool? And it does not have to be, you know, you don't have to use this star for a military card. It could be any, you know, any kind of thing. All right. So we have that. And, oh, hang on a second. I want to put some of those on the inside as well. We'll just put those down there on the corner. Okay. And then this is going to be a little bit different. So I'm gonna do To a Real Hero. And I'm just gonna stamp this down on the bottom. Hopefully that's gonna be straight. Okay. There's another shape too. Look at this one. So there's this shape, and this one is a really neat, but this one reminded me of like the police instead of like an army. But it also, I watch, oh my gosh, there's a TV show, and it's about, oh my gosh, Diana. It's like pets. It's like a veterinary, it's not veterinary. Something to do with animals. And it's like a comedy thing. It's that kind of like The Office, right, where you know, I think they're talking to the camera. I don't know, but anyways, so that other shape kind of reminded me of that show. All right, so then I'm going to do that. So let's get the card over here. Okay. And then this is going to go on here. And I'm going to put it on with glue dots because it is the same color, like green on green. So I want to use my glue dots because it will just emphasize that there's another layer there. You could also like rough up the edges if you wanted, which would make it, you know, stand out even more. All right, so that's going to go right on there. And then the old olive will go on there. And these might not be like the true army colors, but they kind of gave me the feels of camouflage or something. Jeff's like olive drab. That is the color for the army. Olive drab. All right, OD, he was saying. All right, but ours is old olive. So I think that looks kind of in the center there. All right, now this time, I'm gonna put this on with dimensionals. So it'll stick up a little bit. So hopefully, if you haven't got this, you will get, because this is one that, you know, I will keep forever. I have another one with a soldier, and I will always keep that one. All right. That looks cool on there. And then this time, Jeff wanted these down like this, so they kind of look like hills of like dirt. So they're not really being used as like a shield or whatever that was, like a rank. So this is just going to go down here like, you know, like boots on the ground or whatever. Would you say that for army? I don't know. All right, and then that one, try to make them be even. Let me get my grid sheet. So put them on your grid sheet, and then use the other one on the other side. There. And then you know, like it's straight across. All right. And then this will go on with dimensionals as well. So a lot of dimension on this card. Look at all those crazy pieces of dimensional, all sorts of different shapes back there. Okay. And then that will go on there like that. That looks cool. That totally, to me, looks like the army. All right, and then for the bling, I just picked these ladybug. I'm not putting ladybugs on there, but they have these clear, these clear ones. So I'm just gonna put those on there. So there's just some little shiny, like water droplets almost. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I need to get some more of these if those are still available because they're super cute. All right. So this is my twist. So these cards are so similar. So here is the first one. So this is the one that I had the 5 stars on there. And there's that one. So I think they're both really cool. And I loved using the gold embossing powder to use instead of the foil. So all right, so let me say, see you later, alligator. I gotta get this video uploaded and edited and off to the YouTube. All right, so hopefully this one won't be late. So thank you so much for joining me. I will see you tomorrow for my Teach Me Tuesdays, and that will be 3 o'clock Arizona time, same channel. See you tomorrow. Bye for now.